archaeology. Get out of there, Dan!
And now the intro's starting.
You know what's crazy? Like, if you watch the intro on YouTube, it looks clearer than the video that I put up now. From Premiere.
Yeah.
Which is, like, crazy to me. Anyway, I probably shouldn't be talking about that. I should probably say hello, everyone. Welcome to You Call This Archaeology.
Episode 31.
Yeah.
Saturday edition.
Yeah. And I'm going to get up for a second and move the camera a little.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah. The other camera, the YouTube camera. So.
Woo. All right.
Well, welcome everyone to the show. We tried to actually while we're doing this, you might want to move that one down a little bit so your head's not cut off.
Wait, is it cut off?
Well, look at the screen there.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
just move the webcam down a little bit.
All right.
While Richie adjusts the camera. Oh, and we're muted. We're also muted.
We are?
Yeah,
oh,
we're
good.
muted. Unmute us now. Hey, we're unmuted. What do you think about that shit? So,
all right, now we welcome you.
And some woman named Rachel Roden said, "Is there no sound, or is it just me?" No, it was us because we're idiots. So, I know I'm sitting here with my headphones on, listening for the audio, and we still couldn't hear it.
Oh,
hey. Yeah, there we go. I'm like, why can't I hear anything? So, anyway, this is episode 31. You Call This Archaeology. We tried to record on Wednesday, but there was some serious crazy stuff going on here at the Reno Collective with the internet.
Oh wait, what happened there?
They still don't know. Something was online and doing massive uploads, and they couldn't figure out what it was, because it was the upload limit that prevented us from actually streaming, because we're uploading video right now.
Yeah.
The audio actually wouldn't have worked either. We were just going to go with audio, but the live stream wouldn't even connect.
Yeah.
So, we just had to bail on it. I actually tried uploading a video to a Slack channel earlier that day, and it was the same thing, so it was going all day long. Now it's better. Now we're hooked up to Ethernet, so we actually shouldn't be dropping any frames. We should be pretty decent. If there's a slowdown in the signal, my guess is it's on your side and not on our side, because we've got the best situation we've ever had.
You know what's interesting? Your computer's not working as hard.
Well, no, I guess when it's not trying to fight through the internet, it probably just works a little easier, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like a lot easier. It's not even a quarter of its CPU percentage.
Well, there you go.
Which I realize is really boring to people, but it's like...
yeah, whatever. I think we actually have a lot to go over today.
Oh my god, we do.
I've got some notes here.
Oh, so do I.
Yeah. Oh, shit. I forgot that book upstairs. I was going to show a book off.
Oh, really? I didn't know you could show that one.
It's sitting on my desk.
Oh, the radar.
No, the Gpr book.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's live. You can buy it, so I was going to show it, but I can't get out, and it's stuck upstairs. All right, never mind. All right, so I'm going to go with the first thing on my list real quick.
Yeah?
Last weekend, I was at... my wife had who is on here today, some woman, she says, WTF. Everybody can see that, right? Hey, if she had the same last name as me, then everybody would know she was my wife, but she doesn't, so I have to be like some
That's
woman.
really modern, though.
I know, right? It's totally modern. It's very archaeological of her.
Also,
Chuck Hutchinson is on as well. You guys, he's like, if you guys weren't so good looking, I complain that there's no audio. I agree, Chuck. I totally agree. Anyway, and we've got Justin Hertz on as well. I think he's still joined us. I'm not sure, but he was at least on for a little while. Yeah. And Justin's podcast is going really, really well.
Really?
Check out his last episode of the Just Hertz So Good show, episode 4 with Justin Impossible. The guy is a magician, and he changed his last name to Impossible. It's actually impossible. That's his last name. When you look him up, his last name is Impossible.
Oh my god, it's like that dude, Kim.com or whatever.
Oh my god. That is committing to the thing that you want to do. That is serious commitment. Anyway, so we were in the South Bay area, Santa Clara area of San Francisco, and we had an Airbnb that was actually about 1.5 miles from the Apple headquarters, the new spaceship headquarters.
Did you walk
spaceship. There? I did walk there.
Oh, neat.
It was about a 40-minute walk. So it was about 1.5 miles. It was a little over a mile with stoplights. But I guess it took about 35 minutes or so to walk there. And I went. You can't actually go into the complex, of course, unless you're escorted or invited in, probably. I told Rachel, I was like, I kind of want to just apply for a bunch of jobs at Apple, just so I can be invited in for an interview and see different places.
Yeah.
And then I was like, but what if I'm weirdly qualified for a job I didn't know about. I'm offered like a $90,000 job at Apple. Would I take it? And I was like, I might actually for a little while. but
man, that part of the country, it's like minimum wage.
Oh my God, right? You can't even live in that area for $90,000. Yeah. So anyway, it was, we went there, and then she had this trade show to go to, and I spent the whole day on Saturday while she was at this trade show. She was there from like 10 to 4 or 5 o'clock. And I spent the whole time at the Apple Visitor Center. Really? And it's actually really cool. If you're in that area, go check it out. It's not just an Apple store. It is an Apple store. I mean, they're selling stuff, right? So.
Oh, they are?
But it's an Apple store in like the stripped down, strictest sense of the word Apple store, because...
Wait, there's no souvenirs or anything?
Well, there are, but what I mean is there's no drones. There's no third-party cases. There's no, there's no hard drives. There's no anything Apple doesn't sell. It's all Apple stuff. It's all just iPads, iPhones, and watches, and computers. That's pretty much it. Yeah. And that's all they have there. And it's really big. It's nice. It's slick. It's clean. Yeah. It's really well laid out. The one thing they do have there that's unique is the because they call the campus Apple Park. So it's like the Apple symbol and then Park. So they call it Apple Park, and they have some Apple Park swag that you can get that you can't get anywhere else. I bought like a grocery tote bag thing that's got the symbol on it. It's got the spaceship symbol on it, the circle. Yeah. So anyway, that's what they have there. They have T-shirts and stuff, but the only T-shirts I wear are APN T-shirts. So Richie's got an APN T-shirt, but he's not wearing it. But we're not going to talk about that. So.
Oh, what? I'm wearing something cool though. I got it from a competing website.
There you go. So anyway, I'm just going to say, if you have a chance to visit there, that'd be great. They also have so that's kind of the middle of the building, and on the very top floor, they have this really cool observation deck kind of area that's open to the elements. It's got a roof on it, but it's open, and you can go up there and chill out and sit and check things out. And then on either end of the visitor center, they've got two other things. They've got one thing that's like this huge 3D model, like a 3D replica of the entire campus, but they hand you an iPad, and they've got this special program running on there, and you hold the iPad up to it, and it's an augmented reality tour of the campus. So it adds the trees and greenery and all that stuff. You can flip up and raise the buildings up, the building roofs up, and look inside.
Wait, that reminds me, maybe it was something like special, but for that particular Smithsonian installation. But like I remember a couple years ago, I was visiting my sister. We were going through some of the Smithsonian's. Yeah, they have people were walking around with iPads like that.
Oh yeah, augmented reality museum tourism is going to be such a huge thing. Rachel says, and now I went there all day Saturday. Rachel didn't get to go, but on Sunday we were headed down to San Luis Obispo, and actually we were headed down to like the Monterey area that night. And I was like, "Do you want to see it?" So we went over there. We walked inside, but I didn't realize they didn't open till like 10 on the nose, and we got there at like 9:55. So they had somebody standing outside the door. It's all glass all the way around, so you can see inside, and you can see the whole team standing inside there. There's probably like 25 people on a Sunday standing inside, ready to receive the people that were outside. And there were probably 20, 25 people standing outside. And I've seen this before when they do like an iPhone launch or something like that.
Yeah.
On the first day, they'll have people clapping and you walk through the store. They do this every day at Apple Park. So they had a guy standing outside telling everybody where things were and all that stuff. And he's like, "We're going to open the doors in a minute. We're really glad you're here, blah, blah, blah." And then they opened the glass doors right on the nose at 10 o'clock. Yeah. And everybody was lined up and they were clapping and cheering as we walked in the door. And the thing is, it didn't seem cheesy. Like
Wait, you didn't get that on camera?
I didn't know they were going to do it. I didn't think they did that every day, because that wasn't a special Sunday, which means they must do it every day. So anyway, on the one end they have the augmented reality, in the middle they have the store, and on the other end they have the world's only and first Max Cafe, they call it, M-A-C-S, which I think is a dumb name, but and it's weirdly hipster too. They've got a ton of tables. I just sat there for like 5 hours editing podcasts, but
wow. And I bet the Wi-Fi must have been really good.
The Wi-Fi was smoking. It's the best upload speeds I've ever seen in my entire life. Download is easy. Everybody has good download speeds. But the upload speeds were like 60, 70 megabits per second.
Jesus.
I'm like, how do you even get that high?
Oh my God.
Anyway, it was ridiculous upload speed. And
Google Fiber.
Probably, right? Yeah. And that's actually probably true. Because Because Google's like right down the street.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, it's in like Mountain View, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh,
anyway,
wait, do you see any of their stolen bikes around?
I did not see it. They're stolen bikes. No. Anyway, it was really cool sitting there and just doing stuff,
Yeah.
just kind of being in that environment. However, it was a really shitty coffee shop to be in.
Really? How
It
come?
was expensive. I usually get at least a triple when I get a latte, and they had
Yeah.
like 12-ounce ones only. And an extra shot. I didn't realize this until they rang me up. She said we have to charge you for an espresso, and I was like, yeah, okay, whatever that could
Yeah.
be. First off, the menus are all iPads. They have like piles of iPads sitting there, and you just turn it on, and it's the menu.
Neat.
And then I ordered a triple espresso, and it was an extra
$20.
$3 for the shot. Like an extra $3 for an extra shot, because they don't have an extra shot button. They charge you for an espresso shot, which is $3. And then the only food they had was like this weird expensive chocolate and like raw nuts, like cashews and almonds
Oh,
and
how
some other
Steve
stuff.
Jobs.
Yeah, it's very Steve Jobs. Very Steve Jobs. And then the machines, they had
Yeah.
2 super fancy espresso machines, and they said they were designed by the guy who designs Ferrari cars. He designs espresso machines in
Wait, were they
Italy.
the kind that we've seen here in town where they come up with the counter?
No. This was a full espresso machine like you see, not the custom build kind like like an old board coffee. Just a regular espresso machine with the double, I think actually triple or quadruple boiler, like you could do 3 or 4 at a time. But they looked really cool, and I mean the coffee tasted good.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but I told one of the guys there because I bought a few things, and he was
Yeah.
just asking me about my experience, and I was like, yeah, it was great. I was sitting there. It was
Yeah.
neat, but I'll tell you what, if you expect people to sit there long term, and he's like, yeah, we do. You know, you come in and hang out, just like use it as a workspace. And I was like, then put some power at the goddamn tables. Like, I could only be there until my battery died.
Oh,
You know?
it's so weird because when I went home and I'd go to Starbucks, they have those tables with the built-in wireless chargers.
Sure, that works for your phone.
Yeah.
And I've seen that before. I've just used one last weekend, but
I'm saying
but
it's
doesn't
like-
work for your laptop.
But I'm saying they offer all the power options at the table.
Well, and these guys could easily do that because in the store area, it was kind of similar tables that they had in the cafe area, except they were the big long ones, like you see in Apple stores.
Yeah.
There were no cords anywhere because the tables are fixed to the floor and the power comes up through the leg, right?
Yeah.
So 2 cool things. One, there's a lot of power coming up through the leg because the tables are backlit for the displays inside. But also there's drawers in them. And one of the salespeople was showing us one of the Apple Watch bands, and he used his iPhone. It didn't look like he had any special setting. I think it was the case that was on there.
Yeah.
And he just held it up next to the drawer, and it unlocked the drawer, and he pulled it out. And when he pulled it out, there were a whole bunch of watches inside there, and they were all sitting on charging docks.
Neat.
And so the table has got a lot of power coming to it. And I'm like, just do that in the cafe,
Yeah. You know what that makes me think of, by the way? I watch a YouTube channel called The 8-Bit Guy, and he used to be an Apple repair dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now he does YouTube, and he does like histories of like computers, vintage computers. And one of the really interesting ones he did was the Apple II Plus or whatever it's called versus the Mac, the original Mac. And he was pointing out that the Apple II the new Apple II that Steve Wozniak brought out was better thought out and backward compatible than the Mac.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and he was like, man, and it was more powerful at the time, and the only reason that it didn't sell is because Apple discontinued support for it. It even had, its own, its own GUI.
Oh, yeah.
And its own mouse and stuff like that.
Nice.
And it was fully backward compatible.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It was. It's like a really interesting channel.
Nice.
Like, not only does he do Macs, he also does is like a keyboard dude, so he stores keyboards.
Nice.
Like all the stuff you watch on YouTube. It's so weird.
There you go. There you go.
Oh.
To round out the weekend, I'll just say we spent the whole day the whole afternoon on Monday, and then a really awesome evening. What was it? It was food. It was like an Italian build your own Italian food bar. It was amazing.
Neat.
But we hung out with the Wild Note crew.
Yeah.
Because I'm now a salesperson for Wild Note, so for their CRM division. And really great, awesome people. It was just a really fun time. They met Rachel for the first time. I met most of the crew for the first time because I'd only met a few of them.
Yeah.
And it was a really great thing. And if you happen to be in San Diego for the California meetings coming up this
Society for
coming
California
week,
Archaeology.
Society for California Archaeology. Check out Richie and I will be there in the APN booth, which is going to be right next. If they did everything right, it's going to be right next to the Wild Note booth, which I'll be trading my time with the Wild Note booth. And I'm telling you, if you haven't done it yet, go to wildnoteapp.com. They are a sponsor of the Archaeology Podcast Network now, and support them. But more importantly, go and sign up for a free trial, especially if you're a California archaeologist. They have some of the California DPR forms in there now that you can look at. They're still in development. I mean, we're in the final stages of really getting those dialed in. But you can sign up for a free 30-day trial right now.
Interesting.
And I have the authority, if you like it, but you need a little bit more time to evaluate it, I can extend your trial.
Neat.
Yeah, so we'll do whatever it takes to make you not a temporary 1 month long customer. We want to make lifelong customers. We want to make people who are just coming back to WildNote for everything they need, because the great thing about archaeology is a lot of apps out there are really kind of I don't say a lot, there's only like 2 or 3 that are sort of focusing on archaeology first because they're realizing there's a problem there and they're doing that. But WildNote actually started with other environmental stuff first, like bird surveys and some biology stuff and things like that.
Right.
And because they did that, they're coming to archaeology now. So if an archaeology firm actually has those other departments, it's already done.
Interesting.
It's already finished. Yeah.
Interesting. Like a company we used to work for.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
And my God, someone should tell them that their website is down. I'm not gonna say their name, but like they're like literally just keep directing people to their website, but it's not accessible.
Yeah.
You just get the server and then server error reload.
Nice. That's always classy of a website.
Oh my God. Speaking.
All right. So what do you got?
Oh my God. What should I do first? It's interesting. I'm actually, my God, even though I keep saying I don't necessarily want to go out in the field, and I'm like, I've updated my resume and everything, I'm still buying gear.
Of course you are.
I'm like updating gear, because like one of those things I did not realize, because obviously everyone uses AA batteries and stuff like that, right?
For sure.
Yeah, and I've got like a whole bunch of those chargers.
Yeah.
But apparently chargers have gotten a lot better since I bought them.
Well, battery technology in general has gotten better, so it's no surprise that the chargers have gotten better.
Well, the amazing thing, because for people who ever use those, that you have to like charge them in pairs. Right? You have to put the batteries in pairs.
Right.
Well, now, thank God, it's like someone finally came up with chargers where you just can put in one battery.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And like they're smart chargers, so they keep so they can automatically detect what kind of battery you're putting in, whether it's a lithium ion or NiMH or whatnot, and it'll just automatically charge it properly.
Nice.
Which is crazy to me.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, because like I was looking at one of my chargers, like, wow, this is a Radio Shack brand. I wonder how old that is.
Well, since half the Radio Shacks don't exist anymore, probably pretty old. Yeah.
I mean, I know the one that used to be near us, like here at the Collective, is now like a Sprint store or something.
Something like that, yeah. I never even saw the one here. They started closing down when I was up in Sparks, Nevada, and the one that was on Audi Boulevard there that I actually bought my first podcast microphone from and stand. I owe my start to podcasting to that Radio Shack because I walked there from my house, and they're gone. They're totally closed up.
Really?
So, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. But
the only thing I know about Audi is the fact that the Salvation Army is on that street, I think.
Yeah, it's right down the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Radio Shack was right down the road. Yeah, to the west of there. So, anyway, I want to mention real fast, so people have time to go do this. We have a newsletter going out Monday morning at, I want to say 8 a.m. or 8:30 a.m., something like that.
Yeah.
But because I missed the last week, I missed this week again. But we now have a plan for that. Tristan, our co-founder, is going to be doing the newsletter.
Ooh.
So hopefully we'll be back on track with that because I just don't have time for it. But I love doing it because one of the best things I love doing about it is not only telling you what shows are coming up, but giving you a discount code. Yeah. Which a few people have taken advantage of.
Oh, they have?
Yeah, and it's a weekly code, so it's only good for that week.
Good.
But I'm telling you right now, if you go to any arcpodnet.com website and you scroll up about, 30% of the way, I think it's set at, you'll get this pop-up. Don't click away on it. Enter your email address, get added to our mailing list, and when the newsletter comes out on Monday, because if you don't get on our mailing list by Monday morning, Pacific time, 8 a.m. Pacific time, you won't get this week's newsletter. That's the only way you can get it. And if you get it, there's a 50% off discount code for our coffee mugs and our stickers. Now, I can't do a code for the Tea Public store or the Tea Mill store for you UK listeners, but I can do stuff that we sell personally. And the things that we sell that I actually go to the post office and put in a box and ship for you are our show stickers, which you can see on the back of my computer here, and and our coffee mugs. So those are the things that we have.
Wait, do you sell the self-heating mugs?
No. We don't have those until they have the branding on the Ember coffee mug. We're probably not going to have them. So, but besides, I don't know how many archaeologists are going to buy an $80 coffee mug. So,
All of them? No.
no, probably not. Probably not. Now, if we had the travel mug and we can get that under 150, maybe. But probably not.
Man, that just makes me think of truck stops.
What said no one ever? No.
Oh
Who
my
thinks
God.
of truck stops?
Oh my God! You know, I was like going around. I was going around. You know, at my day job today.
Yeah.
And on the radio, they were talking about the only craft bar inside a gas station type place in the state of Nevada.
Yeah.
And they're like, come in, and we're open 24 hours. And it's like, wow, only in Nevada.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Kind of like the way only in Idaho can you get is there a gas station with a growler station?
Oh my God. That's nice. Fill up for your long drive across the country.
Yeah, see?
Yeah. All right, what else you got on your list there, Richie?
Oh my God. Well, let's see.
I'll look at my list too.
Oh my God. I think I'm not, I keep saying I'm going to be fired, and I am from my day job. I mean, I'm obviously going to quit before then. That way it doesn't show up on my thing.
Right.
Which is always, remember that, everyone. Always quit before you're fired.
It's a true story.
Because that's the first thing they ask you on your unemployment application.
Yeah.
And, but, man, the level of ridiculousness there is so terrible this week. I can't even, ugh.
I'm gonna implement all the things Richie's about to say into my archaeology company.
Do it.
I'm gonna have points. I'm gonna have, if you don't dig this many shovel tests or if you don't walk this many miles, that's a point.
Well, it's like the other day. That snowstorm was coming, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, our recommendation to you is you start out 3 hours early.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, yeah, but then I get 0 hours of sleep.
You need to go to sleep immediately when you get home, Richie.
Well, that's the thing. I talk to some people there, and they do. They literally, they go home, they have dinner, and they immediately take a shower, and they immediately go to bed.
Yeah.
And it's like, that doesn't work for me. That's not a job. That's more that's like slavery.
Well, okay, let's bring this back to archaeology.
Yeah.
Okay, because there are plenty of projects that I've been on that are just either the weather or the work itself is so physically demanding, especially by the end of a 10-day session, right? Mm-hmm. You're by day 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You're getting up at, a lot of times when the light is favorable, our start time is 7 a.m. That's a pretty typical start time, right? So you're getting up at 5:30 to 6:30, give or take your however much time you need to get ready. Let's give the benefit of the doubt and say you're getting up at 6:30 and you can get ready in 30 minutes and be out there from the hotel room. I know some people do that. Some people literally just roll out of bed into the car.
Gross.
Well, if you've got an hour commute, a lot of people will use that to just get extra sleep, eat breakfast, do whatever they're going to do. If you know you're going to stop at a gas station, actually that's kind of game in the system, which is great. If you stop at a gas station every single day, for example. Or maybe on my China Lake project, it was guaranteed that we were stopping in the gas station every other day because we had so far to drive. Well, we not only that, but we had so far to drive that we had to get gas.
Yeah.
If we're just stopping for ice and water, I told everybody, I was like, listen, we're not sitting here for 30 minutes. Have your shit together.
Yeah.
If it's an ice and water stop, it's not going to take very long.
Yeah.
If it's a gas stop, go in and get food, do what you're going to do, but otherwise do it on your own time.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but either way. If you know that's going to happen, then go ahead and play that up. But here's the thing: how many jobs have we been on where it's just we'll go work an 8-hour day, and even though it's just 8 hours, you're just physically exhausted by the time you get home, and then you take a shower, you have something to eat, and then you're just either watching TV for a little while or you just fall asleep and you wake up and do it again the next day. But see, here the thing the thing about what you're talking about, you're people have jobs like this that aren't archaeology, and they think, man, this is like slavery, like you just said. But then we go do this, and we're like, well, it's just, this one project. It's just this one thing.
Yeah.
But it's our 9-to-5 job. It's our regular thing.
But the thing is, you do eventually get to the point where you're just in field shape, and suddenly it's just well, whatever. Now I've got all the energy to do stuff.
Some people do. Some people don't, though. Some people just come home at the end of the day, and I often try to do something like a workout. I remember this project we had that was pretty physically demanding.
Yeah.
I would go on a bike ride after work every day. Yeah. Almost every day I'd go on a bike ride. And that would actually give me, like more energy.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
See?
it's tiring, but it gives me, you know, the ability to stay awake and keep going.
Or alternatively, you can be like our deceased friend, Mr. Yeti, who
Yeah.
you once saw. What was it? like his after work ritual.
Oh my God, sitting in his tent drinking Mountain Dew with a bag of potato chips. That was like every single day of his life. Yeah. So, anyway, back to your story. I didn't want you to get too far before we mentioned that. You know.
Yeah. But the thing is, like for us, it's a career, but it's just something you do to pay the bills.
But for some people, like you've mentioned, at the place where you work, I mean, it's a career until they get fired. Like, they have nothing else going on in their lives. They have nothing else that they're doing. This is what they're doing.
Yeah. But I mean, you know, they expect you to have the same commitment to that we do to archaeology.
I know.
And that's unreasonable.
Right.
To me, personally. It's just like, you know, it's like I got docked like half a point because, you know, I showed up like, they're like, yeah. They pulled up the spreadsheet. It's like, yeah, there you are. 45 seconds late. And I'm like, are you kidding?
Yeah.
Like, no. You know, you used your one allowance this month, and, you know, that's it. And I'm like, this is stupid. Like, there's an accident at that intersection every single week.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes every day. And, like, I already leave an hour early. You know, like how many hours, like, am I supposed to live there? Like, maybe I should just, like, drive there in my RV and just, like, live in the parking lot.
I think you should set your canvas teepee up in the parking lot.
See? And I'm like, you know, it's so dumb. It's just like this is it's just a job. It's not like a career where you had to go to school.
Right.
And you have to go to field school. And there's like all these qualifications.
But it's interesting how these sort of systems developed, because this is a warehouse job where they're pulling orders for internet sales, right? Yeah. So it's interesting how you get from, hey, let's start a business, to you're 45 seconds late, we're going to dock you a point.
Yeah.
It's at some point, employees stop being people and they start being just commodities like everything else in the warehouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the interesting thing is, where is the flex point for an employer like that? Where do they say, where do they stop adhering rigidly to the rules? Because archaeology plays this way too.
Yeah.
Where do they stop rigidly adhering to the rules and kind of realize that it's just being human, but then also not allowing somebody to game the system? Because if you say, if you allow somebody to be 45 seconds late every single day, and you're not strict about it, and then all of a sudden that person is a minute or 2 minutes late every day, at what point do you say, all right, you're just fucking with us.
Yeah.
You need to stop doing that, and, you know, let's cut this off. So these guys have just said, screw it, we don't care. It's a zero tolerance policy. You're not going to be late. I don't care if you're 1 second late. You're not going to be late. You get a point.
Well, the thing is, oh my god, they're literally, I mean, oh my god, it's like one of those things they don't explain to you when you're being recruited. They didn't explain mandatory overtime to me at all.
Mm-hmm.
And like literally, they're like, it's like they're just like driving people into the ground. It's like I first said on the, like, you know, when I first got this job, it's like they want machines instead of people.
Right.
And it's like at a certain point, you're just like driving people so hard, and like every day, like I was telling you before the podcast started, every day I run into people who are like, yeah, I just got a new job, and I'm like, thank God.
Right.
And it's like, you know, and it's not like, I mean, the thing is, it's not like they're paying like archaeology money, which is like ironic. It's like literally my checks would have to be doubled.
Right.
To get even like entry level field tech wage, and I'm like, it's the level of commitment they're expecting for what essentially is a minimum wage job is like, it's weird.
So you're basically saying you're making East Coast wages.
Practically. I don't even joke. Oh, speaking of which, my God, you know that dude. I mean, you know, this is a reminder to people: always keep your LinkedIn up to date. Because someone contacted me out of the blue about some job. I'm not going to say where. But at first I thought it was a scam, but I looked it up, and actually they are just a very corporate sort of CRM company. Yeah. And man, he's really after me to like join this project. He's like, yeah, this could go on for years. And
wow.
I'm like, oh my God, essentially live in Oklahoma for years.
Dude, I lived in Oklahoma for exactly 1 year, and it was horrific.
See? I'm like, yeah.
And I was in like the green part of Tulsa. Oh my God, it was like, so bad.
I mean, imagine, oh my God, spending years shovel testing across Oklahoma.
You know, Tulsa spelled backwards is a slut. That's not a joke.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Tulsa was so bad. I hated it so much.
Oh, it's just like, I mean, I don't know, it could be an adventure, but then again, I always say that, and then I end up on a project and I know someone out there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's not hard to do.
Yeah.
You've worked in this field long enough, you probably know somebody just about everywhere.
Oh my god, this is actually the one thing that really bugged me.
Yeah.
The break timers, right?
Mm-hmm.
They ring at 45, and then again at the top of the hour.
So everybody in the whole building takes a break at the same time?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the thing is, if you're right next to the break room, someone was explaining this and they were super heated. They're like, look, your break is only 10 minutes. You're supposed to take a 2-minute walk. So if you're getting here right on the dot because you happen to be on that end, because the thing is, there's in other warehouses there are multiple break areas so that people have the same walk.
Mm-hmm.
But in this warehouse, it's oh my god, it's almost 500, 1,000 meters long. So if you're on the other end, it's forever to get over, and you you end up with a 5-minute break, which they don't care about. What they do care about are the people who for luck or because of their job that day end up right next to the break room. They're you are getting 15 minutes of break.
Yeah.
That's stealing 5 minutes of our time.
Right.
So they were trying to make people go back out and do 5 minutes of work.
Oh my god.
And it's come on, man. Come on. And they literally station people in the break room, supervisors in the break room to get people to move faster.
Right.
Go. And if you show up, if you're on the opposite end of the warehouse and you get there and you get your 3-minute break, you're out of luck. Just go. Just you had your break, go.
Yeah.
It's that's not a break. Which is why some people actually don't go to the break room. They just they just sit down where they are.
Nice.
But you're technically supposed to go there so they can keep track of whether you're actually going to break or not.
So they require you to go to the break room.
Yeah.
But they don't give you enough time to actually go to the break room.
They say they do.
Yeah.
But but in reality it doesn't work out that way.
Well, that's a great thing about archaeology. When it's break time, we all just kind of stop and sit down.
Yeah. And it's that really pissed me off.
Yeah.
It's little stuff like that where they're they don't care how much they piss you off or how much they demoralize the crew. It's just this is the way it is. You're stealing money. And the ironic thing is, oh my god, I don't want to keep talking about it because it's depressing. But it does give me motivation to quit.
Yeah.
One of those things that I did, I mean, wait, I probably should have brought this up. I don't even sure that you'll be able to see this on camera, but when I was a field tech, full time, every winter, I'd have that spreadsheet of companies I sent stuff out to.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously, if you're on unemployment, you're supposed to send out, what was it, 3?
Yeah, 3 I think per week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I would keep a spreadsheet. Obviously, when I very first started out, I had a little steno notebook, and then I went to Evernote, and now I'm just using Sheets.
Mm-hmm.
But it's one of those things where I do that for I was doing that for my current job search. Oh my god, this thing is so slow. Anyway, and I thought, man, people on that side of the camera should be able to see this, even though it's got all the confidential information. But it's but it's all the skills they don't teach you.
Yeah.
In at any level.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's people expect this to be a company job / career where you just get on with a company and then you're there.
Yeah.
They don't expect themselves to be they don't expect themselves essentially to be always looking for a job. I mean, you probably can't see that on that end, but it's just
But it's a pretty detailed spreadsheet.
Yeah, and it's color coded and everything. Oh wait, you can actually see it. That's cool. Anyway, I don't want to show that too long. But and I'm always emailing people and I'm always keeping in touch with people. It's like you were talking about with the last episode of the CRM Archaeology podcast.
Yeah.
You've always got to whatchamacallit. You've always got to keep looking.
Mm-hmm.
It's the reason I keep my LinkedIn up to date. It's the reason stuff like that.
I mean, that's how this job works, man. You're always hustling. You're always keeping it going. You're always trying to look for stuff. So
yeah.
You know
what else I realized? I realized that I've been there where literally I've been a week out from my unemployment ending before I got a job. And, I was so used to it that it's just like, a matter of just like, well, whatever, that happens.
Yeah.
Whereas now I've been out of practice and I've had this like regular person jobs. And suddenly I'm like
You get comfortable.
Yeah, and I'm like suddenly I'm super stressing out. I'm like,
Yeah.
But then ironically, this is like right around the time of the year where, you start looking.
Yeah.
I
Well.
just got to get in that thing mood again,
I
even
know.
though I didn't really want to.
Yeah, I know. It's the season. We actually had a podcast, the what was it, 131 of the Serum Archaeology podcast, the last one.
Yeah.
Where we talked about jobs in field schools, and because it's that time of year, but it's a never-ending thing for archaeologists, and I think one of the problems with archaeology that people think when they first get into the field is they went through college, and now they're they went through a field school, and now they're looking for a job, and we're still not far enough detached from the baby boomers that had the traditional 9-to-5 job. I mean, people before that generation, they worked in factories, they worked in fields, they did other stuff, and the whole concept of Monday through Friday 9-to-5 40 hours a week just simply didn't exist. Before like the labor movement dropped work down to 40 hours and things like that, and now it's the kind of thing we just expect. And when we're asked to work an 8 and 6 or something like that and do 4 10s or 8 10s in a row or something like that, people will bitch and they'll complain. And
Really? Because I love 8-6s.
Well, 8 and 6s are great for employees that have a place to live, because then you get 6 days off, right?
Yeah.
You get 6 days off. But you know why companies do it, right? Because it saves them 2 days of per diem.
Oh, that's true too.
So they get the same amount of work out of you, but it saves them 2 days of per diem.
Oh my God! I remember a project where we were camping on BLM land. We were like, man, it'd be super cool. Can we just like camp here?
Mm-hmm.
And the project manager's like, no, you
Well-
won't get your per diem if you do that.
Well, sometimes BLM won't let you camp.
Yeah, but this is like there was no one out there.
Yeah. Yeah. I've seen that though in RFPs, or by the time they come around and say, here's your project, they'll talk about camping. And while the general public may be able to camp in an area, because you typically can on BLM, you can just pull over and camp wherever you want.
Yeah.
From a work standpoint, if you're working for the BLM, they consider that a heavier impact because you're probably there longer, you're probably doing more things. They will specifically say sometimes no camping or no camping in one location for this duration of time. When we worked on the Applegate Trail, they had that in our regulations, but we were never out there more than 2 days in a row. So we just camped for a few nights in one spot and then moved on from there.
Yeah.
But they were like, I don't remember what the details were, but we weren't allowed to like if this were a 3-month long project, you can't camp in one spot for 3 months. You just can't do it. So
Yeah, you can.
well, they'll come out and check.
Oh,
And
but
you
I
lose your
meant,
contract.
Oh, well, I just meant you can.
You can if you're a person, but not if you're working for the BLM.
That's true.
Yeah, so it's different rules if you're actually working for the company. So my point with this is,
Yeah.
if a company tells you something, sometimes they're not just being dicks. Sometimes they're actually saying it because it's in the contract and they don't want to lose the contract. So just keep that in mind. But you're right. It is kind of BS. Some companies have really hard and fast rules that they try to follow.
Yeah.
They're their company rules. Same with the company you're working for now. They try to follow these hard and fast rules, and they say no. Like this one company in town here, our first company we worked for in the Great Basin, we were living out of our vehicle because we got rid of everything. Right, we were just trying to move west. They had never really experienced shovel bums that much at that point in time, so they didn't really understand the concept of people that didn't live in town. Yeah, this is what they told us. I couldn't believe it because shovel bums are all over the East Coast, but when we got here, they're like, oh, most of our people that work for us are like in town. They like live here.
Really?
And yeah, I know. You know who I'm talking about. Yeah. And so they had this weird thing. It was just a rule. They said it was because of accounting or insurance or something like that. I know now that it was just they didn't know how to handle it. And, my accountants never said anything. Insurance has never said anything. But basically, you would not get drive time paid, or I think there was a per diem issue too, if you didn't drive out to the field city. Like if we were going to go to, let's say, Ely, Nevada or something like that, because I think that was one of our projects. If you're not in the company vehicle on the way out there, then you don't get paid.
Yeah, but they also had those super tiny SUVs.
Well, that's the other thing. So we're putting 4 people into a 4Runner with all of our gear, And like this one guy who'd never worked for any other company, he had just a backpack with clothes. It just had work clothes in it. And I was like, where's your like food and where's your other stuff? Where's your where's your everything? And he's like, well, that's what I'm getting per diem for, because this is what the company had told him. He's like, I go out to eat for every meal, and then I'll buy like lunch stuff, and I'm like, dude, that's not how this business really works, right? Like, I know per diem is supposed to be for food, but it's not really for food.
Yeah, that's like per diem is what I used to pay the bills, and then my paycheck is what goes in savings for winter.
I know, and this is what people do, especially when it's not. And now with that company, it was just food per diem. I think we were getting $39 a day.
They've raised it recently then.
Well, this was 10 years ago, so.
Oh, so they haven't raised it a lot.
They haven't, no. So, anyway, I think it was $39 or something like that a day for food, which. In a backwoods town in Nevada, that's actually, if it were just for food, if you were actually eating out 3 meals a day, that probably does cover it, right?
Yeah.
Because no meals are, you could get a steak dinner at the Owl Club in Battle Mountain for like $10.
Yeah. It's not bad.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. But anyway, in other areas and with other companies, you're getting hotel per diem too. So you're getting the federal wage per diem, which is somewhere around, $100 to $130, $35 a day. Now, people will, this is what I don't like about archaeology. People will, to just save money and to make money, and I guess people make their own decisions, but I hate that we're forced into thinking this way.
Yeah.
They'll stay in some rat trap motel just because it's $30 a night.
Yeah.
Or they have a weekly rate or something like that makes it even less. But they're sacrificing their own well-being and their own living conditions just to save some money. And I wish that we had a wage where people didn't have to think that way. I wish we had a wage where people were just like, you know what, I'm making pretty good money. I'm going to stay in not like a 5-star hotel, but I'm going to stay in like a halfway decent hotel and consider my quality of life. But it just doesn't work that way in this field. And that makes me sad. And that's why I'm trying to do things that cost companies less money to operate, but also raise up the value of a field technician so they can actually basically be worth more.
Wait, field technicians have worth? That's crazy talk.
I know, right?
Who'd have thought? There's always more of them.
Well, it's a never-ending supply, really. So, I know. It's a great business we work in, but it's also a pretty shitty business we work in sometimes. Just with. And I don't feel like any specific company. Sure, there's bad apples out there, but I don't feel like any specific company is really intentionally treating their people like dirt. But on both sides of the coin, we're just trying to survive. You've got field techs who, probably don't know how to manage their money that well, haven't been taught how to live on the road, haven't been taught how to live basically, in that sort of lifestyle. They're just constantly thinking, at some point I'm going to get a permanent job. At some point, how many people do you hear say that? Yeah. That's like the holy grail. Let's just embrace the fact that you don't have a permanent job, that you're going to work for 16 companies this year. Let's embrace that and operate with that mindset.
And then even if you get a permanent job, it's not really permanent.
Oh,
See, people
no.
always think it's permanent, but then it's just like, especially if you've never had them.
It's permanent until the next recession, or it's permanent until that company can't get contracts anymore.
Yeah.
Or it's permanent until you're a liability.
Yeah, or alternatively, someone has like another friend named Chris who they'd rather have.
Well, Chris 2.0 is a thing. Yeah. So, yeah, nothing is permanent. That's for sure.
It's like oh my god. You've seen my kitchen setup. We've obviously, it's just like we should. God, that'd be an interesting thing to like do for like a video.
A good video podcast that I've actually been considering,
Yeah.
and you and I would be good hosts for this.
Yeah.
When we get this maker studio finished back here, and we actually have like a video podcast studio, because I'd like to have a table in front of us and be able to do stuff. Would be a podcast that's just called Living on the Road. And it wouldn't be just applicable to archaeologists either. Anybody who has a job where that takes them frequently into hotel rooms and things like that. Anytime you go into a hotel room and you treat it like a hotel room, you're destroying your quality of life. You need to treat it like your home.
Yeah.
You need to move things around. You need to take down some stuff or minimalism and taking as few things as possible. People that know me probably don't think that, but it's becoming more of a thing for me. Like I want fewer devices that do more things. If I'm going to have that. Like we just picked up one of those Instant Pot things.
Oh my god, I was going to mention that.
I know. We just picked up one of those. I'll tell you what, it's a good size and probably hard to shove into your Honda Accord if you're traveling across the country, but it replaces like 8 things.
Well, the thing is, I used to carry a roaster oven with me.
How do you carry a roaster oven?
You know.
My God.
Well, you know, I mean, this was, it really came in handy in Minnesota because,
Yeah.
at the grocery store, they would have like, you've got like the pot roast and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Well, they had like pre-made, they had like pre-seasoned ones. You just take it, you put it in your roaster oven, and
Nice.
45 minutes, it's done.
Nice.
So it's like I just get back from, I just get back from the field, throw it in, go to the gym,
Yeah.
throw on the iPad and just like run for an hour and then I'm done.
There you go. There you go. Back to our permanent job thing. Chuck says, I've had my last 3 permanent jobs for at least a year each.
And that's the thing students don't
Exactly.
understand. That's the thing students and people who are new don't understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you go to LinkedIn. Like I look at some of these people on LinkedIn. It's like, yeah, I have architectural historian, 7 months.
Yeah. I think I've had 3 or 4 permanent jobs in archaeology.
Yeah. It's just like, oh my God.
I was laid off from my last job with another company. What was it? 2 or 3 months after I made a salaried employee.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And the guy that was made salaried with me, he was laid off less than a year later, less than 6 months later, I think. Yeah, it wasn't much longer.
And
So
he hadn't finished a report, and they were trying to like get their California archaeologists to do it, but that's illegal because
Yeah.
you can't have an out-of-state archaeologist do a report.
yeah, that whole in-state permitting thing.
Yeah.
These multi-state companies kind of get away with breaking the law a lot of times.
Sometimes, but they didn't
Yeah.
get away with this one.
Like for example, this big project that we both worked on, the Ruby Pipeline.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the company that my wife and I worked for, they were a California company. And sure, the crew chiefs and the principal investigators were all permitted by the BLM.
Yeah.
But some of the people looking at those site records and some of the people doing some of the work on that stuff
Yeah.
were not California archaeologists at all. And in a lot of cases, not even archaeologists, and they're based in California. And I meant not Nevada archaeologists. They were not Nevada BLM permitted archaeologists. They were, again, maybe not even archaeologists,
Yeah.
but definitely in California. And that's a very weird circumstance that I'm not sure the federal agencies even want to discuss, because it would seriously reduce the number of like potential people they could have bid on their projects if they really got strict about that.
Yeah.
But anyway,
It's interesting because the company I worked for is for the Ruby Pipeline. We used to read the records from the company you both worked for and get a good laugh at some of them.
right? Right.
I mean, I heard they had to do a whole bunch of stuff over on their own dime.
That's not surprising. It's not surprising.
Oh my God! You know what else is interesting? The
that?
Mobile World. I mean, not to like completely switch tracks, but the Mobile World Congress, which is like just ended, and I was shocked at how many iPhone 10 lookalikes are now like coming down the pipe.
Oh, there's so many.
Yeah.
Yeah, they even have the notch and it doesn't do anything. Yeah.
And not from like knockoff makers, but from like mainstream, phone manufacturers.
Mm-hmm.
Like the new LG G7 looks just like the iPhone 10,
Oh my God.
which is, man, I actually wanted an LG, but at least I was thinking about an LG,
Yeah.
just because they supposedly have the best cameras outside of Apple's.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I was just checking our stream, and we've been going for over an hour now. So
Oh, we have? Oh, heck.
yeah. Is there anything you wanna really specifically get? Because I think
Oh, really? Because
I did something on my back this morning, and the live stream has been going for an hour and 8 minutes.
Oh.
I know we had some.
Yeah.
I don't know how long we had it in pre-show mode for, but I was just looking at. That's the only metric I have. So how long has that camera been going?
About 49 minutes.
Okay, well that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were in pre-show longer than I thought.
Yeah.
So okay. Yeah, because I need to go home and take I think I've got some Percocet left from when I hurt my ankle, so I might have to take one of those to loosen up my back. Just screwed it up this morning.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get to some other stuff on your list. And
Oh, that was actually everything.
oh yeah, well then I'm going to mention something real quick then, because I just got it last week.
Yeah.
And I meant to bring it down, but it's called I think it's called Gpr Basics or something like that. But anyway,
Yeah.
there's a book from my good friend Dan Bigman from
Yeah.
Bigman Geophysical. If you go to Learn GPR, just Google Learn GPR.
Yeah.
It's a really great book. And he starts out right on page 1, like the introduction,
Yeah.
saying that you are a superhero. And you're a superhero not because you can see through walls,
Yeah.
and you can see through floors, and you can see through things, because you can do that with GPR,
Yeah.
but because you're actually helping people and saving lives, is what he says. So
Wow.
it's a great It's a great read. I haven't gotten through the whole book yet, but it's a really fun thing. And if you're at all interested in ground penetrating radar and seeing what that can do for you,
That sounds neat.
seriously pick up the book. Yeah, it just came out. So go to Learn GPR, and there should be a place to pick up the book there.
You know what's interesting? You and Paul should talk about. I don't know if Paul's into like GIS, but you know, I know QGIS is about to have a big update. It's not like stable yet, but it's like their biggest update in years.
Nice.
I mean, they went from version 2 something like they were up to 2.8.8,
Right.
and now they're like just up to 3.0.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's in something you two would be interested in.
I don't know, because he doesn't really use it much. And Richie's talking about the Archaeotech podcast.
Yeah.
I actually thought he was talking about somebody that works here in town, and I was like,
Oh.
really? Me and Paul? But anyway, he's talking about the Archaeotech podcast and Paul Zimmerman. And I'm not sure how much Paul uses QGIS or could even talk about it. Honestly, I don't use it that much anymore either, because I have somebody that does my maps for me. So
Interesting.
it saves me. I learned QGIS and I learned GIS, and if I had to make a map, I could.
Yeah.
Because I want to know, from a business ownership standpoint, when it's still quicker for me, and really ultimately cheaper. Sure, it costs me some money. Whereas if I did it myself, it would be free, but none of your time is free.
Yeah.
But if I send out to a person and say, I just need these maps, and they charge me $200 for it, it probably would have taken me 3 or 4 times the time that it took them to do it, because they can do it super fast.
Yeah.
Because I don't do it enough to where I'd have to really just like learn it again. Plus, I'm doing other things. You know, I've got all kinds of other things I'm doing. So if I just, but I learned it so I would know how long it would take to do something. I learned it so I understand the process.
Yeah.
And I learned it so I can say from a business ownership standpoint, like I have Richie doing things for me for the APN.
Yeah.
And I know exactly how long those things take because I've been doing it for years.
Yeah.
So if Richie comes back and says, oh, well, it took 10 hours to do this thing versus the 3 hours it probably should have taken, I'm like, Richie, either you're incompetent or you're scamming me. Or something is going wrong.
Yeah.
And that's just good business sense.
But that, oh my God, speaking, not to circle back to like my day job, but like that's the thing. Your time isn't free, and yet they expect you to spend so much of your free time just preparing for that job. And it's like, no, you're not paying me when I'm off the clock.
Yeah.
So I shouldn't have to leave my house 3 or 4 hours early.
Right.
It's stupid.
Yeah.
Especially since unlike a lot of people there, I have so many other things. Obviously I'm working with you, and I'm trying to do my own side hustle thing, and it's just like, eventually you just run out of hours in the day.
Yeah.
And you have to prioritize.
I hear you.
Because I don't want to be at this job forever. And that's the thing. They treat you like you're going to be there forever. It's like, no.
Well, the hours in the day thing is incredibly important, especially for small businesses, which almost every archaeology firm falls into that category.
Yeah.
And if you find yourself doing something like, I've got a good friend who owns a company, and this person is always telling me that they're doing stuff that's related to accounting and bookkeeping, and I'm like, listen, I understand that probably saves you money, but I have somebody doing my bookkeeping, and I have somebody doing my accounting, and it probably costs me anywhere from $150 to $250 a month to have this person doing this. But do you know how much it saves me in my time figuring these things out? I don't have to keep on top of all this stuff. She does this for a living. And it not only saves me time, but it's going to save me a lot later on, because I did my own bookkeeping for the first few years of my business. And I'll tell you what, it's just dumb luck the IRS hasn't come back and said, what the fuck are these books looking like? I'm just waiting for 7 years to go by on those first few years where, they can't really come back and say, they can, but it's unlikely they're going to do anything about such a small fish, in the pond. But I wish I had the money right now to have a bookkeeper go back and redo my taxes and certain things from the first few years of business. Because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I thought, I'm saving money by having somebody else do this, or by doing it myself.
Yeah.
But I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And this goes into Richie's side hustle. If you've got a website, or you're trying to get your business out there, if your business is not online, or at least searchable online, and is available in a nice consumable way by anybody in the world, then you're doing it wrong. If you think your business is just writing BLM, proposals and things like that, and getting those in the normal ways, you're really missing a huge segment of the population.
Especially in serum archaeology. Like, the people might not realize it, because I was doing research on it, but man, like, the ad rates are through the roof, but the ads are, that's because the ads the companies put out are terrible. Almost their websites are terrible.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you have somebody like Richie who's trying to do digital marketing on the side, come through and just revamp your whole system. And even if you have somebody come through and say, do an analysis of your setup and say, this is what you've got, this is what you're doing, this is what you could be doing, let's get you rolling with this. You pay for that to get done, and you pay good money for it because it's valuable service. And then maybe this person, like, maybe you would have somebody like Richie maintain your system forever, just like be your person that does this. Or maybe you want them to set you up in a way that it can be self-sustaining and then teach you how to do it, and then like a temporary contract.
It's not like, Nevcris, where it's like, like the company went out of business and suddenly now no one knows how to one knows how to maintain it or change it.
Right, exactly. So
wait, let me get up for a second and see how much time I've got left.
Okay. So
good. We got 6 minutes.
Anyway, we'll finish up this last few minutes by mentioning next week. My guess is, next week I'm going to tell you right now, we're going to miss Wednesday.
Oh, we are?
Yes, we're going to miss Wednesday for a very good reason. Because we'll probably go live several times from the San Diego Archaeology Conference. And if you happen to be in San Diego and you're at the Society for California Archaeology meeting, hell, even if you're there and for some reason not at the Society for California Archaeology meeting, it's a super cheap meeting to go to, so you should just actually probably go. But if you're not there and you want to hook up, we've got an Airbnb that sleeps like 8 people. Did you see that?
Too.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say that the hotel complex is a really big, nice complex, and it's like just like fun to hang out in. And there's like fun to hang out in, and there's like a mall there.
Yeah, and if you don't want to stay in the hotel, there's a Motel 6 in the parking lot. So I saw that just looking at the map the other day. So anyway, come down, check it out. We'll be at the APN booth. We've got some awesome swag from the TeePublic store that I'm going to be selling there. Ooh. And I'm working on trying to get a coupon code for the things we sell out of that people can just go online while they're standing there and use that coupon code. Ooh. So we'll work on that. It's probably going to be around 30% off. I think that's their typical code, which is actually pretty good. It saves you shipping in a little more. Interesting. And you'll have Square and all that stuff there? We'll have it set up for the things we have to sell. We'll have it set up for the TeePublic items. I'm going to have show stickers that you can buy, like all these stickers on the back of my laptop here. I'm going to have all those available. And I'm going to I have coffee mugs still available. I don't have time to order more, so we'll have probably 15 of them or so available. Wow. That we can sell. And also, the APN sticker, which I'm not sure, that's the one in the middle here. The APN sticker, I'm just going to be handing those out. So that'll be free. Yeah, and that's unlike if some of you got burned on the APN stickers I had before, those big round ones. They burned me too. And the company told me that they would be good stickers, and I didn't know that, and I didn't know that they weren't. And they're actually total trash, and they probably faded. And that's why I'm giving this one away for free, because I feel like total crap about it. You do? I gave hundreds of them out at the SAAs in Vancouver, and all those people are probably like, "Damn you, APN!" But scrape that shit off your clipboard or your water bottle, and put this one on because it's great. It's been on the back of my truck for since last summer when I got them. Wow! And it's a great vinyl sticker that just holds up to the elements. Yeah. Yeah. So should we end this before it ends on its own? Yes. Yeah. Okay. All right, well, thanks a lot. As always, you can go to the APN on the arcpodnet.com on the front page. Scroll down until you see You Call This Archaeology. When you click into that, it'll take you to the You Call This Archaeology page on the APN where you can watch the video that is really just embedded video from Richie's YouTube channel. Happy Archaeology Fun Time. And thank you to all the new subscribers, because I'm now up to I'm almost up to 200. Nice. The rate I'm going. Yeah. Nice. That's awesome. Although, man, I actually uploaded a video. I just haven't hit the publish button because I've been so busy. Nice. It's like, oh my god. Plus, I also haven't done the show notes. Yeah. Because I discovered that people seem to really like the fact that I do the embed codes where you can just go directly to a subject by time. That's cool. Yeah. Yeah. Do it. Alrighty. So, all right. Well, thanks a lot, everybody, and we'll see you from California. Yeah, actually, my God, the weather will be nice. That's the thing I was going to talk about today. The crazy weather. We're going from winter to 72-degree highs in the summer in the sunshine. But just yesterday and today. Yeah. Maybe Wednesday evening we'll broadcast from the shore or something.
Ooh, well, that too. But I mean, that hotel's really nice. There's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
all sorts of
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly.
All right.
All right.
And
See you later.
oh my god.